Hey everybody, I'm Joe Braun, founder of Solume, and today I want to talk about something a lot of new board members face, but few really prepare for. That's inheriting a terrible HOA. Maybe you joined your board because you wanted to help out the neighborhood. Okay, great. Or maybe you're just one of the brave souls who thought that they could step into this. But once you look behind the curtain, you realize that things were far worse than anyone thought. So today I'm going to walk you through what to do when you step into leadership and discover your HOA or condo association has been run poorly, sometimes for years. We'll talk about how this happens, the warning signs to look for, and most importantly, how to start turning things around. Because no matter how bad things might seem, there is a way forward. Most struggling communities didn't get that way overnight. Problems creep in slowly. A little neglect here, a shortcut there. It usually starts with a board that wants to keep everyone happy. They don't want to raise the dues, they don't want conflict, so they kick the can down the road. Maintenance gets deferred, reserves go underfunded, and budgets stop reflecting reality. Then there's the less innocent mistakes, if that's what you want to call them. Kickbacks with vendors, selective enforcement of violations, budgets designed to look good on paper but don't stand up in real life. Over time, these decisions compound, and by the time new leadership steps in, it's like inheriting a house with foundation cracks hidden under the carpet. When this happens, the first reaction is shock, right? Followed by frustration, maybe you get mad, maybe even some fear, because you realize that now the responsibility to fix it rests with you. I met with a board recently in the Midwest who found themselves in this exact situation. The previous board had been in control for over a decade. They didn't keep clean records, they avoided tough financial decisions, and when members started asking questions, they sold their home and left the neighborhood. When the new board took over, they opened the books and realized that they were on the brink of insolvency. Bills had been paid inconsistently. Reserves were almost empty. Vendors were overcharging for the work that sometimes was never even completed. It was the kind of chaos that doesn't just break a budget, it literally destroys a community. And that's the real cost of bad management. Once trust is gone, every dollar becomes harder to spend. Every decision gets second guessed, and every homeowner assumes the worst. So what do you do when you inherit a situation like this? There are three major steps that every board should take. Step one, audit everything. That means every transaction, every vendor contract, every bank statement. You can't fix what you don't understand. You might find patterns of waste or favoritism or just plain disorganization, maybe even fraud. The audit gives you a baseline for reality. Step two, rebuild transparency. Start communicating clearly and consistently. Send summaries after meetings, post budgets and updates. When homeowners see progress, even small steps, they start regaining confidence. Transparency is what transforms suspicion into trust. And really, that's kind of the baseline for you as a board to make real decisions that are based in reality. Step three, plan for the future. This is where a lot of boards freeze. The problem feels too big, but planning is the only way to dig out of the hole. Get a fresh reserve study, build a 5-year financial projection, and be honest about what it will take. Sometimes that means special assessments or dues increases, and that's okay if it's grounded in truth and reality. Homeowners can handle bad news. What they can't handle is being kept in the dark or lied to. Listen, communities don't fall apart because of one bad year. They fall apart because of years without accountability. So if you're stepping into a mess, you're already doing something courageous. You're standing in the gap between what your community is and what it can be or what it should be. The truth is, even the most damaged associations can recover. I've seen it. I've seen boards who started out completely overwhelmed, and a year later, they weren't just stable, they were actually thriving because they took a sober look at reality. They faced hard truths head on and paired transparency with proactive action, getting everything documented, understanding the reserves, and using the right systems to rebuild structure and consistency. That's why communities come to Solium, not just for our software, but for strategy, for a way to see clearly again, to understand their financial picture, track every decision, and create a roadmap that prevents the same mistakes from ever happening again. So if you inherited a terrible HOA, a broken budget, fractured trust, or years of mismanagement, first of all, I'm sorry, it's terrible. But don't give up. You can fix this. It starts by following the 3 steps: audit everything, rebuild trust and transparency, and plan for the future. Those principles form the foundation of every recovery. And if you need a system to help you make sense of it all, to organize the chaos and start rebuilding trust, that's exactly why we built Solium. That's what it was built to do. Would it be ridiculous to think that your community could be next year's comeback story? If you're ready to turn things around, book a quick demo. We'll walk through the same framework we use to help communities dig out of the mess and rebuild something better step by step.